Hi, I'm Allie with PotomacBeads, and in this Better Beader episode, I'm going to give you some ideas for how to make an adjustable bracelet. When it comes to necklaces, the size and the length doesn't matter a ton, but as you get into smaller options, like a bracelet, size does matter because you don't want it to be too big or too small for an individual, especially if you might be gifting it for something like Mother's Day. So option number one for an adjustable style bracelet is if you're using something like a button clasp that you can make an additional loop off of the first one. You can even do this after the fact, like I just added additional beads here. That way I can wear it on the longer length, or I can put it on and wear it on the shorter length. And that longer length can actually just get folded right back over the button. So that way you don't see that extra little loop, or it can hang down. You could even hang a couple little charms from this. Another way to do an adjustable bracelet, and I have a couple different options here, are some of the project classes. Now this one here is macrame. If you make a long bracelet, one especially that's going to wrap around a lot of times, the fit sometimes isn't as important because as I'm wrapping and wrapping and wrapping, if it's a little bit big, it's not going to affect just one strand. It's going to affect multiple strands, and that length differential is going to be addressed through multiple strands to basically decrease. So like this blended macrame bracelet as well. Another idea is when in doubt, just use a memory wire bracelet. So memory wire bracelets like these stackable memory wire allow you to have adjustable sizes without having to, again, worry about the exact length. So I can put these on and I can do a couple and stack them one to the other. But you can see that it doesn't matter if my wrist is 6.5 inches or my wrist is 7 inches, it's going to fit as well for that adjustable length like this stackable memory wire bracelet. Another idea for memory wire is an oldie but goodie, the Alex and Ani inspired memory wire bracelet. For this bracelet here, you can make it adjustable, just like these memory wire ones, the stackable ones, by folding the memory wire from one end to the other. If you're wondering about some of these projects as I'm going through them and giving you ideas, these are all project classes that we have videos for that we've done in the past. So if you look below the video in the link in the description, we'll put links to all of these different videos that are featured in this Better Beader episode. So this one here is adjustable. You can see it's memory wire. It goes up and down, and then it'll close to whatever size it needs to on your wrist. So even though I have this beaded here with some pretty faceted rounds, if it needs to be bigger, it'll stay bigger on my wrist. You can also attach some charms to this area and really have fun with that as well. When in doubt, whether or not you're going simple or whether or not you're going crazy, like this cha-cha charm bracelet, you can create something that is stretchy. Again, it's going to allow you to have that size variance, and you're not going to have to wonder exactly what size it is and exactly how it's going to fit the individual that you perhaps are gifting to, or even if you are at a show. Another project that we have that has a good idea for adjustable lengths of bracelets. This is a necklace, but I wanted to show it as an example that this is a ribbon necklace. So the ribbon necklace has some large faceted rounds and ribbon attached to the back. You can do the same thing for a bracelet attaching ribbon, and then when you need to, you can tie the ribbon into the size that you need it to be. Obviously, you're going to have a little bit of hang down on the ribbon, but that's also a really cute design element and adds to the look of the stackable bracelets maybe that you're wearing. You can also use the ribbon, another idea here, on a stackable group to hold them together and just do a little ribbon bow along the side of that. The next one that I wanted to show also is the simple beaded slide knot bracelet. So if you've ever done macrame, you know that this is just that half hitch and that square knot here going back and forth as you're going along it. You can make a bracelet that is able to be adjusted through that area, pulling both sides of the cord. This one here is the simple Slipknot bracelet. It's project number 2000. And this will allow you to make the bracelets smaller or bigger as you're wearing them and as you're working, whether or not you're working with hemp cord or Chinese knotting cord. In addition to doing the knotted section, there's also beads that are rubber core if you have chain or you have anything like that, that you can adjust to do so in the same regard. Just like I did with this beaded bracelet here, adding the extra loops. Keep in mind if you're using a lobster clasp or something like that, you can also do extra links of chain. That way you can attach your lobster to the start or the finish of chain. Just like I did here with the button clasp, it's always a fun little idea that you can hang a little charm or so from the end of the clasp, and that makes it easier to put on, put off, and add a little bit of decor to the end of the design. In addition to the memory wire in that form, you can do also something like the stackable wire Pebble gemstone bracelet. And what that's going to allow the person to do is wear it more like a bangle. So again, if it's a ½ inch too big, it's not going to slip over the wrist and it'll stay on even if it has that opening and closure. Another thing you can do sometimes with those bracelets is after the fact of giving them, you can go back in if you need to with a pliers or with your wire, just go in and adjust the bracelet to the length of the person that needs to wear it, rebending the wire, and then turning it to the side so it has a smaller fit to it as well. So there's a lot of different options when it comes to figuring out how to go in, create different bracelets, but making them adjustable and having that additional thread at the end or the additional loops at the end or the additional chain, or even going with an idea of a memory wire design, whether or not it's coiled over and over again, or whether or not you go into that Alex and Ani style design where it is folded over and adjustable on each end. There's multiple ways to give bracelets as gifts to make them adjustable and not worry that they're not going to fit the recipients of them. So just like I said about the loops at the end or that additional little charms, finish off those additional pieces of cord or those pieces of wire so they look finished at the end, especially if you have a tiny wrist and they're going to hang down fairly far. I hope this Better Beader episode was very helpful and maybe inspired you and gave you some ideas, showing some of those older project clasps that I really got out from the filing area that show the different ways that you can make adjustable bracelets. Whether or not you're using memory wire, stretchy string, some cord and some knots, or even a rubber core bracelet or chain and linking to different sections, you can make sure that you can give a gift or even make bracelets to sell that aren't affected by the size of the wrist of the person that's either purchasing them or receiving them as well. Remember, this is an interactive group and community of beaders, so if you ever want to go ahead and comment below, giving ideas or suggestions to other community members, that is awesome and we love it. Don't forget to give the little thumbs up as well as subscribe if you haven't yet to this YouTube channel. That way you just don't miss anything from us here at PotomacBeads. Thanks so much for watching this Better Beader episode, and stay tuned for more inspirational designs.